Let's get started with Clickety. First, we want to go to run.clickety.app and authenticate using the email that received the beta access invitation. Since Clickety wants to help me track and make sense of my interactions with people, it's asking permission to ingest emails and calendar events because, well, emails are a big chunk of how I interact with people, and meeting them in person or on a video call is another huge chunk. Our plan is to eventually support ingesting other email clients and social media conversations, but for right now, we're just starting with emails and events. Now that I'm in, Clickety is ingesting all of that data. I'll hit refresh, and there. This is basically a people-centric view of my inbox. Eventually, we're going to add searching and filtering so that I can find all the tech people I know in Chicago that like karaoke, for example. The follow-ups group is empty right now. We'll add some in a bit, but this view reminds me that I can set things to be followed up on by BCCing or forwarding emails from my inbox to followup@clickety.email. I like to use this when I'm checking my email in the morning, but I'm not yet ready to respond to anything, so I'll just forward it and handle it when I'm in a more focused headspace. Below the follow-ups are regular groups. They're buckets of context that you can use to help you focus, and we set some of them by default for getting started. Let's look at one of the default groups, the Keep in Touch board. I can edit or remove any of these, so I'm going to make this one specific for people I get advice from. Later I'll come around and I'll add one for keeping in touch with coworkers I don't work directly with but get a lot of good insight from, or folks that I want to hire eventually but don't have a job for now, and another one for family. I can also change the glyph associated with any of these groups. And then I can start adding people to this board and moving them into the stack that matches my intention. Do I plan on reaching out at least monthly? Quarterly? Whenever I'm ready to keep myself fresh in someone else's mind, I can come back to these stacks. And if I've had just an organic reason to reach out to someone, they'll be at the bottom of the list. It's sorted by least reason, so it's the people who I haven't reached out to on my own, who are most in need of hearing from me, that'll be at the top. Let's open up a person card. If I need to change the name or add a description, I can do that here, and I can also add the person to groups. In the center, I have our interactions, so I can remember what we've been talking about lately, and also verify that I am caught up in any emails they've sent me before I go into a meeting with them. Remember that follow-ups group? I can set a follow-up manually here. That hourglass will appear wherever I see that person now. If I see someone outside of an email or calendar, or if I just want to take notes on our meeting, I can add a manual activity. Folks have tons of emails, personal, work, previous work emails, college emails. No matter how many addresses they have, though, they're still the same person. So we want to pull all of them together into the same person card, which is why I use the alias here to merge them together. For notes that are more specific than a description and that you don't want to lose as time goes by, we can add notes. Plus, they support Markdown, so you can add formatting, lists, links, whatever. Let's add a new group for a work project I'm launching. I can add members, then create a board from scratch. Now that we've done discovery for this project and feel pretty good about our plan, I want to make sure that all the leaders for the groups that are going to be impacted by our changes are on board with our plan before we actually start building. I'll send them our info and ask them to schedule time with me, and then I'll follow up with anyone who has concerns we need to address. Nina hasn't scheduled a sync with me yet, so I'm going to follow up with her on that. A quick refresh, and there's all the interactions that involve people in this group. Groups can be nested, and membership will roll up to parent groups. Since this is a work project, I'll drop it under my company. And down here is account settings. I can add any other Google-backed email accounts in here or send an email to support. Speaking of support, I can chat with the team here if I need help, so reach out. Remember how we set those follow-ups earlier? Well, if I go back up to the follow-ups group, I see all of the people that have follow-ups associated with them. I can open up their cards and see what those interactions are. And when they're done, I toggle them off, and there we go. We've wrapped it up, and I don't need to be reminded of it anymore. Now that you've got the basics down, you can use Clickety for other use cases, such as managing your skip levels, your freelancers or outside analysts. You can track your 360 reviews or fundraising efforts, or you can just plan who to spend your time with on your next trip. If you want to get more inspiration, head to clickety.app and check out our blog. I recommend the Mechanics of Leadership series. You can also check out our docs for more specific details on our features. Thanks for watching!